Millionaire morning routine. Have you ever wondered, what do millionaires do differently than regular people? Well, besides buy mansions and Teslas, for example. Well, I can tell you the biggest difference between most people and millionaires is going to be their morning routine. So I'm going to share with you a real millionaire morning routine that will help you be successful. Let's go.
Noel. Yeah, she can fix that. If you gotta get it done, or you need to do it better, well, she can fix that. Yeah, she can fix that. Investment to get back, trying to get a big stack. She can fix that. Let's fix that.
I'm going to share with you my exact morning routine that has allowed me to make more than $2 million per year consistently. I'm going to share with you the only 3 things that you need to change in your life to become successful. And I'm going to share with you the #1 mistake that most people make when they are trying to change their life. So let's talk about what it's like to be a millionaire. Being a millionaire, most people think that it's this glamorous thing. They usually think of athletes or actors or people that you see on TV. And for the most part, that is probably where you would see most millionaires. You're not gonna know that most people are a millionaire just by looking at them. Many of you have read the book, The Millionaire Next Door. I know I read that book. And it talked about how most millionaires actually drive a Ford F-150. They have a business more like a plumber or an engineer or an electrician or something to that effect. Most millionaires, in other words, are just regular business owners. But millionaire is not just income. Millionaire is really your lifestyle, your mindset, what you're doing. Some people can have $1 million a year and they work all the time, or they work really tough jobs, or they are miserable. And in my opinion, that's not really a millionaire lifestyle. Some people live a millionaire lifestyle doing absolutely nothing, but don't really make any money. Again, not necessarily what I would describe as a millionaire. So to me, a millionaire equals time plus money. Time plus money equals freedom. If you have all the time in the world and no money, not really a millionaire life. If you have lots of money but no time, then that's not freedom or millionaire life either. You really need the combination of the two. So let me tell you how you can get both so you can live the life that you want. And it's going to start with your routine. So the first thing when we're talking about your morning routine, you gotta wake up early. Waking up early in the morning allows you to start your day and do something that most people don't. If you ask this question, what time do you wake up in the morning? If you ask the average millionaire that question, they're going to tell you between 4 and 6 a.m. If you ask the average person that works a job, they're going to tell you between 6 and 8 a.m. That's a big difference right there. You ever notice that people that make more money working for themselves wake up earlier in the morning? Why is that? Is it because they don't like sleep? Is it because they don't stay up late at night? No, it's because you don't need a lot of sleep. That is something that I had to realize. I used to sleep 8, 10, 11 hours, and I thought that I was no good without like 9 hours of sleep. And that is absolutely incorrect. You need quality sleep, and you should sleep. Don't get me wrong. I love my sleep. Beauty rest is important, but you do not need to sleep 10, 12 hours a night. In fact, if you spend most of your time sleeping, you probably will not be successful. You're going to need to be awake and start doing things so that you can get ahead in your business and start setting up your day. So step 1, wake up early. I wake up most mornings around 5:30, and this is with no alarm clock. I have a millionaire life. I love what I do. The sun doesn't need to wake me up. I just wake up. My goals wake me up. In the words of Eric Thomas, my goals wake me up. No alarm clock needed. Let's talk about the next thing, because this is super important. Number 2, after I have woken up in the morning, again, usually between 5 and 5:30 a.m., I'm going to say my affirmations. Before I even get out of bed in the morning, I am saying my affirmations. I tell myself positive things. Today is going to be a great day. I use the words I am and I complete them. I have about 10 affirmations that I say every single day. I am enough. I am worthy. I am abundant. I am walking genius. I am a millionaire. I am love. I am loving. Things of that nature. You want to say positive affirmations to yourself. In other words, you affirm to yourself positive things. You don't say, I'm so stupid, or I'm so lazy, or I'm so tired. I never say those things. I wake up in the morning and I proclaim what I'm going to have for the day, what is in store for me, and how awesome my life is. I say my affirmations. Tell me some of your affirmations below in the comments. I want to see them. Affirmations are super important and they work like magic. So tell me some of yours. Quick side note on affirmations. Affirmations work like magic, but do you know why? It's because you are reprogramming yourself. This is super important when we're talking about success habits. Every millionaire that I know that I was trained under told me about affirmations, and most people that you talk to will tell you how important they are. But I'm going to tell you the psychology and the science behind them, because it is true. This is not just airy-fairy stuff we're talking. Affirmations are reprogramming. We have been programmed since we were babies. People have been telling us stuff about ourselves. Oh, you're so this or you're so that. And you need to reprogram yourself. Tell yourself how you see yourself and what you want to be. You may start off saying, I am a millionaire, before you are one. And then I promise you, you will become one if you can reprogram yourself. When I first started saying it, I did not have $1 million or have $1 million in properties. Now I have multi-million dollars worth of net worth, and I make millions of dollars per year. Start just saying it, affirming to yourself who you are and what you're working to be, and it will work like magic. Number 3. Now that I've said my affirmations, I'm out of bed. Of course, you know, I brush my teeth and all the other stuff. We're not going to get into that because, of course, you do what you need to do. If you brush your teeth, don't. I brush mine and I'll use mouthwash, but you do what you want to do. Most importantly, eat a light breakfast. This is number 3, and this is super important. I have a very light breakfast every single day. I need some fuel to get me started. I usually have like a little bar. I like Lara bars or, you know, Nature's Valley. Nothing fancy. I just have one of those bars, maybe some coffee or some tea. I usually will drink tea. I have oatmeal, maybe a boiled egg. Again, a small breakfast. You don't want to have this big, massive breakfast. And I also don't suggest you skipping breakfast. I know you'll see some other millionaire routines that tell you skip breakfast. That's not me. I need some fuel in the morning. I have a light breakfast every single morning. It's a part of my routine. Number 4, journaling. Oh my gosh, has this been a life changer for me, and one of the routines that I still do to this day. You need to journal. You know, only successful people journal. Most poor people that are working 2-3 jobs, they don't journal. You know why? Because they're not doing anything that they think is significant. If you are working on something big and you know you're going to be something great, you want to write that down. I feel like I'm like Thomas Edison or, you know, or Steve Jobs. I want you to know what my life was like when I'm no longer here. I know that I'm doing something big, so I journal. I write down what I'm doing. I write down what I'm manifesting. I write down things that are happening to me. I write down my mood, and I write down all of the things that I am grateful for. I start my day writing down what I'm grateful for, what I'm appreciative for. I write that in my journal, how much I love my life, how well things are going for me. I don't focus on the negative. I write down how well things are going and what I'm working on that's also going to go well. Journaling is so important. Number 5, yoga, stretching. One of the things that is so important is stretching your body, doing some yoga, meditation. You can do any of those things. I do all 3. I do yoga, I do stretching, and I do meditation. They are separate. Just because you're stretching does not mean you're doing yoga. And when you're doing yoga doesn't necessarily mean you're stretching. You can do one or the other. There are yoga poses that I do. And sometimes I'm just straight up stretching my limbs, stretching about, getting open, being free. I don't want to be tight. I don't want to have arthritis. I don't want my joints to click and clack. Like I said, I'm being real with y'all. I just turned 40 years old. I want to look this way for a long time. So I get up in the morning and I stretch. I do yoga and I meditate. Okay, side note on meditation. I know this is not a separate point, but I gotta talk about meditation because so many people struggle with it, and I struggled with it when I started. Meditation, first of all, is not sleeping. If you are meditating and you fall asleep, you then stopped meditating. That's first and foremost. Do not take a nap and say that you were meditating. Do not meditate and then just think, and then start doing stuff. You will notice meditation is quieting your mind. You get completely quiet. You do not talk. you do not move. You can do it while laying down. You can do it while sitting up. You want to be comfortable. If you get in a pose like this and you are uncomfortable, you're probably not going to be able to meditate. So if you first start, you need to stretch yourself out or even lay down. Do so. But if you fall asleep, know that you need to start again, because that is not meditation. You'll start off by trying to meditate, quieting and clearing your mind from all thoughts for 5 minutes. Man, this is going to be difficult. Now I can meditate for hours. I literally can sit quietly, not talking, not thinking, mind blank for hours. It took me years, guys. Start with 5 minutes, then you'll go to 10 minutes, and then really all you need is 20 minutes. Now, do I meditate for hours on end for every day? No, but I meditate every day at least 20 minutes. You will get there. Just start with 5 and do it every single day, weekends included. And last but not least, I exercise physically every single day. You have to do some physical activity every single day. You want to make sure, for me, I do some jumping jacks, or I will do some push-ups, or even maybe some planks or something like that. You do what's comfortable for you, but you want to make sure that you are making time, at least 30 minutes a day, to do some physical activity, whether it be going to the gym, going for a walk, going for a jog. You decide what it is, but this is a part of your mental health. Every single person that I know that makes millions of dollars a year exercises daily. And you can look at them and tell why. So there you have it. All of the routines of a successful millionaire, what I do in the morning and what you can do too. Doing these things has absolutely changed my life, and these are the things that you should be doing too. Meditation is so important, more important than almost everything else that I said, and the affirmations. Make sure if you need more information, you're checking me out at 𝗏𝗏𝐿sfreebook.com. I've created an entire book where I'm breaking down all of my real estate millionaire secrets, and I'm giving it away to you absolutely free. 𝗏𝗏𝐿sfreebook.com. That's NOELLES freebook.com. 𝗏𝗏𝐿sfreebook.com. I want to make sure you have all of the knowledge, all of the resources, and all of the tools that you need to be successful. This is Noelle, to your success.